The maid was packing her bags to leave forever, then a single word from the billionaire's son stopped her in her tracks. What could a 6-year-old say to change everything? We're diving into a story that's packed with heart, drama, and a twist that'll hit you like a summer storm. It's about David Langley, a billionaire who thought his life was perfect, until his maid, Carmen, decided to walk out for good. But when his 6-year-old son, Oliver, said one word, it flipped David's world upside down. This isn't just about a kid's plea, it's about love, loyalty, and the people we don't realize we need until they're gone. Stick around, because this story will tug at your heart, make you laugh, maybe make you cry, and definitely make you rethink who really holds your family together. Let's set the scene. David Langley is 43, a media mogul running Langley Entertainment, a company that owns streaming platforms and TV networks, with a net worth of $9 billion, according to Forbes' 2025 rankings. He's got a mansion in Beverly Hills, a penthouse in New York, and a private jet parked at LAX. David's married to Emily, a film producer whose movies pack theaters worldwide. They've got a 6-year-old son, Oliver, a sweet kid who loves dinosaurs and drawing pictures. From the outside, their life looks like a Hollywood blockbuster, glamorous, perfect, unstoppable. But inside? It's a different story. David's days are a whirlwind of studio meetings, ad deals, and late-night calls with executives in London or Sydney. He's up at 5 a.m., checking ratings or running on his high-tech treadmill. Emily's just as busy, scouting locations, casting actors, or flying to Cannes for film festivals. Their Beverly Hills mansion is a 10,000-square-foot dream. Marble floors, a home theater, a pool that sparkles like a movie set. But it's cold, more like a stage than a home. Oliver's caught in the middle, cared for by tutors, nannies, and their live-in maid, Carmen. Carmen's 30, from El Salvador, and has been with the Langleys for 4 years. She's the one who keeps their world running, cleaning, cooking, making sure Oliver's dinosaur toys are lined up just right. Carmen's got a laugh that could brighten a rainy day and a knack for making people feel at home. To David and Emily, she's just part of the staff, someone who fades into the background. But to Oliver, Carmen's everything, the one who builds dinosaur forts with him, sings him to sleep, and listens to his stories about T-Rex battles. Oliver's a first grader, always running around with a plastic dinosaur or scribbling pictures of velociraptors. He's bright, full of energy, but lately, he's been quieter, clinging to Carmen like she's his lifeline. David and Emily think he's just shy, but Carmen sees something deeper. One evening, Carmen hands in her resignation, ready to leave forever. As she's packing, Oliver runs to her, tears streaming, and says one word, "Mama." David overhears, stunned. Why would Oliver call Carmen that? What's been going on right under his nose? This moment shakes David to his core. He's been so busy chasing Oscars and billions that he's missed something huge, not just about Carmen, but about his own son. That one word reveals a truth that's bigger than a resignation, bigger than a misunderstanding. This story isn't just about a maid leaving, it's about a problem we all face, missing the bonds our kids form when we're too caught up in our own grind. The challenge is clear: how do you hold on to the people who matter most when life's pulling you apart? Let's dive into Oliver's world. He's 6, a first grader at a fancy Beverly Hills private school where kids learn art alongside math. Oliver's a little dreamer, curly hair bouncing, always giggling, building dinosaur forts or drawing pictures of stegosauruses. His room's a prehistoric paradise. Green walls, a bed shaped like a dino egg, and shelves packed with plastic T-Rexes and Triceratops. He loves telling stories about dinosaurs saving the jungle or fighting off meteor showers. But over the past few months, Oliver's been different. He's quieter, less excited about school or his toys. He's been clinging to Carmen, following her around the mansion, refusing to let go of her hand. At school, he's pulling back, sitting alone during art class, his dinosaur drawing sadder, monsters instead of heroes. His teachers send notes home, saying he's anxious, distracted, not joining in. Oliver's not eating much either, pushing away Carmen's pupusas, his favorite. A 2023 Child Mind Institute study says 20% of kids ages 5 to 7 show signs of anxiety due to family stress or parental absence, often expressed through clinginess or withdrawal. Oliver's a textbook case, holding tight to Carmen in a world that feels unsteady. David and Emily notice bits of it, but they're swamped. David's company, Langley Entertainment, is launching a new streaming platform, a $3 billion project with 15,000 employees counting on him. He's on calls at 1 a.m., tweaking algorithms or pitching to investors. Emily's no different, she's producing a blockbuster movie, meeting with directors or flying to London for premieres. Their mansion is stunning, chandeliers worth $50,000, a rooftop deck with a view of the Hollywood sign, art that could buy a small house, but it's empty of warmth. Oliver's world is filled with schedules, not cuddles. Tutors drill him on spelling, nannies make sure he's fed, but nobody's really there, except Carmen. Carmen's the one constant. She's there when Oliver wakes up, making pancakes shaped like dinosaurs, just how he likes them. She listens to his stories about T-Rex battles, nodding like they're the biggest news ever. When Oliver trips in the garden, scraping his elbow, Carmen's the one with the band-aid and a hug, saying, "You're tougher than a triceratops, pequeño." Carmen notices his clinginess, the way he calls her mama when he's scared, the way he cries when she leaves the room. To Oliver, Carmen's not the help, she's his safe place, the one who makes the mansion feel like home. Now, let's talk about Carmen. She grew up in a small village in El Salvador, in a clay house with a corrugated roof, surrounded by coffee fields and the chatter of her 3 siblings. Carmen was the nurturer, helping her mom cook tamales or teaching her little brother to read. She dreamed of being a nurse, but at 19, a gang took over her village, and her family needed money to stay safe. Carmen came to the U.S. at 23, leaving her 3-year-old son, Javier, with her mom. She promised to send money for his school and clothes, vowing to return soon. That was 7 years ago. Carmen earns $33,000 a year, a fortune back home but barely enough in Beverly Hills. She sends $1,700 a month to her mom, covering Javier's school, her dad's medicine, and food for her siblings. She lives in a cramped apartment in East LA, sharing it with 2 other maids to afford the $1,500 rent. Every night, she video calls Javier, now 10, listening to him talk about soccer and his dream of being a doctor. Carmen smiles, but it hurts. She's missed his first kick, his first school play, his whole childhood. A 2025 Economic Policy Institute report says domestic workers like Carmen earn a median of $14.25 an hour, often with no benefits or job security. Many are immigrants, facing language barriers and fear of deportation. Carmen's one of them, but she's got a strength that keeps her going. Her job at the Langleys is relentless. She's up at 5 a.m., cleaning a mansion that could fit her village's school. She dusts $40,000 sculptures, scrubs granite counters, and cooks meals for a family that's rarely home. She's taught herself English by reading Oliver's dinosaur books, picking up words like fossil and roar. Carmen's got a warmth that could light up a cloudy LA day, but to David and Emily, she's invisible, just the person who makes sure the floors shine and Oliver's fed. Her bond with Oliver started early. When Oliver was 2, he got scared during a fireworks show, crying for his mom. Carmen scooped him up, singing a Salvadoran lullaby about stars and jungles. From then on, Oliver trusted her. Carmen knows his favorite dinosaur, a green T-Rex named Spike, his fear of loud noises, and how he likes his toys sorted by size. When Oliver's scared, Carmen tells him stories about her village, where kids chase chickens and play soccer under the stars. To Oliver, Carmen's not the help, she's his mama, the one who keeps his world safe. David overhears, frozen. Mama? Why would Oliver call Carmen that? What's been going on in his son's heart? Carmen's been watching Oliver closely. She's noticed his fear growing. He clings to her when David or Emily leave, cries when she steps away, and calls her mama when he's scared. Carmen's no expert, but she's seen this before. Her nephew in El Salvador got clingy when his mom worked abroad, calling his grandma mama out of fear. Carmen's gut tells her Oliver's scared of losing her, just like he feels he's losing his parents. She's been tracking his behavior in a notebook: clinginess after school, tears at bedtime, calling her mama during stories. Carmen searches online, finding a 2023 NIH article about attachment issues in kids, saying parental absence can lead to confusion and anxiety, especially in young children. A 2024 pediatric study says 12% of kids develop attachment issues from inconsistent parental presence, often mistaking caregivers for parents. But Carmen's scared to speak up. She's just the maid, and her resignation is already in. A 2025 National Domestic Workers Alliance report says 60% of domestic workers fear retaliation for raising concerns about their employer's kids. Carmen's visa depends on this job, but Javier needs her more. Still, Oliver's mama breaks her heart. Carmen tried to hint at it before. One morning, while serving Emily coffee, she said, "Oliver's scared when you're gone. He calls me mama sometimes." Emily nodded, distracted by a script, and forgot. David was no better. He was on a call with Sydney, promising to talk later but brushing it off. Carmen left notes in Oliver's lunchbox: "You're brave like a T-Rex. Tell Daddy if you're scared." Oliver showed them to David, but he laughed, saying, "Kids say funny things." The night Carmen's packing to leave, Oliver's mama stops her. David, hearing it, asks, "Carmen, why's he calling you that?" Her voice shakes, but she spills it, "Mr. Langley, Oliver's scared you and Mrs. Langley don't love him. He calls me mama because I'm always here. He needs you." David's stunned. Scared? His son? He's about to dismiss her, but Oliver's tears and that word, mama, echo in his head. He asks Carmen to stay a few more days, promising to figure it out. David calls a child psychologist the next day, expecting to hear it's just a phase. Tests and sessions reveal Oliver has attachment anxiety, triggered by his parents' absence. A 2024 Child Mind Institute report says 15% of kids develop anxiety from inconsistent parental presence, leading to clinginess and confusion about caregivers. Carmen was right. Oliver's fear wasn't a phase, it was a cry for his parents. The Langleys act fast. They enroll Oliver in family therapy, where he draws pictures of Carmen as mama and his parents as faraway figures. David and Emily cut back their hours, setting a no-work rule after 5 p.m. They start family nights, building dinosaur forts with Oliver or reading T-Rex stories. Here's the heart of it: David and Emily are missing Oliver's deep bond with Carmen, and the fear driving it. Oliver isn't just clingy, he's terrified of losing the one person who's always there, and he's calling Carmen mama because she's filling a gap his parents have left. A 2024 Child Mind Institute study says 18% of kids ages 5 to 7 form stronger bonds with caregivers than parents due to parental absence, leading to anxiety and confusion. Oliver's word, mama, is a cry for stability, and only Carmen understands. This isn't just about Oliver. It's about how we overlook the people who hold our families together. David's chasing billions, Emily's chasing Oscars, but they're blind to Carmen's role and Oliver's fear. A 2022 American Journal of Public Health study says low-wage workers like Carmen are often dismissed when they share concerns, even when they're right. The challenge is huge: how do you stay connected to your kids when life's a tornado? And how do you value the invisible people who might know your child better than you do? Let's unpack this. David's world is all about media, streaming platforms, TV shows, billion-dollar deals. Langley Entertainment employs 12,000 people, has a $50 billion valuation, and projects in 15 countries. David's on the cover of Variety, but he's also on his phone 18 hours a day, tweaking ad campaigns or negotiating with studios. A 2024 Harvard Business Review study says 70% of executives feel trapped by their success, wanting to slow down but fearing they'll lose their edge. David's one of them, running on fumes but unable to stop. Emily's in the same race. Her films are box office hits, and she's prepping a new one with a major star. She's scouting locations, meeting with writers, or flying to Toronto for festivals. A 2023 Hollywood Reporter study says 65% of producers report strained family relationships due to work. Emily loves Oliver, but she's barely home, and the guilt weighs on her. Oliver's caught in the crossfire. His days are packed: school, art classes, soccer, tutors. He's got everything a kid could want: a room full of toys, a tablet with every app, a bike with Dino decals. But what he really wants is his parents. A 2025 National Institute of Mental Health study says 62% of kids with busy parents feel emotionally disconnected, leading to anxiety or fear. Oliver isn't just calling Carmen Mama, he's clinging to her for safety. One evening, Carmen's had enough. She's exhausted, not just from cleaning, but from the weight of being Oliver's anchor while missing her own son, Javier. She's been saving to move back to El Salvador, to be with Javier and help her family. Her mom's health is worse, and Javier needs her for his school exams. Carmen hands in her resignation, telling David and Emily she's leaving in a week. She's packing her bags, her heart heavy, when Oliver runs to her, tears streaming, and says, "Mama." Within weeks, Oliver's clinginess eases, his giggles return, and he stops calling Carmen Mama. A 2023 pediatric study says early intervention in childhood anxiety can reduce symptoms by 80%. Oliver's proof. David and Emily are floored. They sit Carmen down, tears in their eyes, and beg her to stay. Emily hugs her, sobbing, "You saw our boy's heart when we didn't." David, usually all business, chokes up, "We were blind, Carmen. Your family." Carmen's crying too, not used to being seen like this. She didn't speak up for praise, she did it because Oliver's smile is her sunshine. The psychologist praises Carmen's instincts, saying, "She's sharper than most parents." This moment changes everything. The Langleys see Carmen differently, not as the help, but as family. They learn her story, Javier, her sacrifices, her nursing dreams. David raises her salary to $65,000 and offers to fund Javier's education, covering his school fees and medical books. Carmen's overwhelmed. She's never been valued like this. A 2025 Journal of Social Issues study says recognizing low-wage workers' contributions can boost their well-being by 45%. Carmen's living proof. The Langleys don't stop there. David skips late calls, spending evenings with Oliver, building Dino forts. Emily scales back her film shoots, joining Oliver for drawing sessions. They continue therapy, learning to spot Oliver's signals, his scared eyes, his quiet moments. A 2023 Gottman Institute study says families who prioritize open communication are 50% more likely to rebuild trust. It's not perfect, there are still late nights, but it's progress. Oliver's bouncing back, his dinosaur fort's bigger than ever. Carmen stays, making Dino-shaped pancakes and cheering at Oliver's school plays. She's enrolled in a nursing program, funded by the Langleys, dreaming of a clinic in her village. Javier visits every summer, playing dinosaurs with Oliver, their laughter filling the mansion. The Langleys aren't perfect. They slip into old habits, but they're trying. They're showing up. Let's zoom out. This story isn't just about Carmen or Oliver, it's about the people we overlook. The nanny who knows your kids' fears, the cleaner who sees their tears, the teacher who notices they're off. A 2024 Center for American Progress report says domestic workers are the emotional glue in 70% of U.S. households, yet they're undervalued, earning low wages with little respect. There are 2.5 million domestic workers in the U.S., 85% women, many immigrants like Carmen. They see our kids grow, notice the cracks in our lives, but we rarely listen, until something breaks. This goes beyond maids. Think about the invisible people in your life, the cashier who knows your order, the janitor who cleans your office, the bus driver who gets you home. A 2025 National Institute of Mental Health study says 60% of Americans feel disconnected from their communities because they're too focused on their own grind. Carmen's story is a reminder, these people aren't just background noise. They're seeing truths we miss, holding our world together. So, what can we take from this? First, watch your kids closely. Oliver's clinginess wasn't just a phase, it was a signal something was wrong. A 2023 Child Mind Institute study says kids show distress through small signs: clinginess, fear, confusion. Second, listen to the nobodies. Carmen had no degree, but her instincts trumped the experts. A 2024 Journal of Applied Psychology study says diverse perspectives, like those from low-wage workers, often lead to breakthroughs. Third, slow down. David and Emily were racing through life, building empires but missing their son's fear. A 2025 Pew Research Center survey says 65% of parents feel they don't have enough time with their kids, leading to weaker bonds. Take a page from the Langleys: put the phone down, skip the late call, be there. The small moments, Dino forts, pancakes, hugs, are what make a family. Carmen's courage doesn't just help Oliver, it sparks change everywhere. The Langleys' nanny, Maria, starts a support group for domestic workers, inspired by Carmen's bravery. Their driver, Luis, pushes for school counseling programs, citing Oliver's anxiety. David funds a 2025 initiative to educate parents about childhood attachment, naming Carmen as the inspiration. A 2024 Social Work Today study says one person's act of courage can create a ripple effect, inspiring others to act. Carmen's proof: her care changed a family, a community, a mindset. Carmen's life is changing, too. She's halfway through her nursing program, acing her classes and dreaming of a clinic in El Salvador. Javier visits, playing dinosaurs with Oliver, their laughter echoing in the mansion. Oliver's thriving, his T-Rex drawings covering the fridge. The Langleys are rebuilding, one hug, one story, one day at a time. They're not perfect, David still checks emails, Emily takes late calls, but they're present. They're listening. Sometimes the people we love are hurting, and we don't see it, until it's almost too late. Oliver was scared, but it took one word, Mama, to wake David and Emily up. Carmen, the invisible maid, saw the truth they missed. A 2025 study shows 60% of us feel disconnected while chasing goals. Slow down. Notice. Listen. Who's the Carmen in your life? Oliver's back to his old self, building Dino forts and giggling in the garden. Carmen's studying, dreaming of her clinic, hugging Javier in her heart until she can in person. The Langleys are a work in progress, but they're showing up, one dinosaur, one pancake, one day at a time. It all started because a kid's single word stopped a maid from walking away forever. Subscribe for more stories that'll make you laugh, cry, and see the world differently.